What is the impact of a single moment on life? How do our choices reveal our character? Like Batman says, "It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me." Actions are what defines the person, and it tells other people who you are. Examples of these actions can be seen in many formats. Plays are a good example of this. Macbeth is a play written by William Shakespeare. It is about a Thane of Scotland who hears a prophecy that he will become king. The Thane, Macbeth, decides to take the matter into his own hands and kills King Duncan. "I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell." In this instance, Macbeth has made the decision to kill King Duncan. Macbeth's actions reveal that he is selfish and greedy, and the result will lead to Macbeth being killed by Macduff. Graphic novels are a secondary source for expressing character. Persepolis is a graphic novel about a young girl named Marjane Satrapi who grew up in revolutionary Iran during the 1970s. In one scene, Marjane is going shopping. "I'll be back in 2 hours," she tells her mother. Marjane chooses to go outside wearing Western clothes and expresses her rebellious nature against the regime where all Western ideology is forbidden. When she decides to return home, she is cornered by 2 female guardians of the revolution, where she is insulted and lies to protect herself. Her encounter also shows how naive she is about her surroundings. Novellas are another popular media of expressing character. In John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men, the character George has met the challenge of taking care of Lenny Small, who is a man with a mental disability. Early in the novella, Lenny and George are in an argument. Eventually, Lenny threatens to leave, and George responds by saying, "I want you to stay with me, Lenny." George's words define his character and his attitude towards Lenny. George demonstrates himself as a man of his word because it is later explained how George promised Lenny's aunt that he would take care of Lenny. It is also seen how George can view Lenny as a nuisance because the argument started over Lenny asking for ketchup. In the end of the story, George's true care for Lenny comes out. George was forced to kill Lenny because Lenny had killed Curly's wife. George saved Lenny from a horrible fate. Even though it was not George's original intention to kill Lenny, he still took care of him by saving him from a punishment much worse than death. Character is not just expressed in books and plays, however. In one poem called Casey at the Bat, a baseball player comes out onto the field. The 2 other batters for his inning has struck out. The player came out as defiance gleamed in Casey's eyes, a sneer curled Casey's lips. Casey's actions would give a reader the impression that he is overconfident and cocky. In the end, Casey will strike out, and much of the respect he had gained over his career would be lost because he lost the game. In the real world, criminals show their character with their crimes. No matter what they do, in that moment the crime is committed, their character is permanently defamed. Murderers are some of the worst types of criminals. New technologies have allowed the justice system to be extremely accurate with the accusations. Joshua Marcus from Upfront article says, "If we can establish that a killer is absolutely guilty and has a track record that suggests he will seriously hurt or kill again, these criminals' past crimes prove them to be dangerous. Those single moments where they decided to murder someone would forever change their lives. Those key moments would also forever have them portrayed as violent, evil, and untrustworthy." World leaders also express character in their actions. In 2014, Vladimir Putin ordered the Russian military to invade Ukraine. After repeated warnings, Putin went ahead with his plans anyway. Putin's blatant disregard for the warnings and ultimatums given to him prove he is ambitious and doesn't care for the well-being of his people. The economic sanctions put on Russia weaken their already struggling economy. What is the impact of a single moment on life? A single moment is capable of defining a person's life in any endeavor or situation, as well as prove to the other people the kind of person one is.